dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching her, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call her. Working big and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a know it, Mr. Knew I got him running to it. I'ma need the full of milk before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, and I way up, and I'm go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, and I way up, and I'm go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. Top dog like I vanished. I'm the really damaged. I came out and make the channel froze. I'm really who the panel chose. Put my name up like a banner boat.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in week 16.
On the return, Jalen Waddle from his end zone.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. Our game here, the first of 3 on this Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everybody. And remember, you got 2 more after this. We're followed here by the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then tonight, a good one out in the desert, the Bucks and Cards from Glendale.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
This defense for the Packers, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Rodgers going to throw.
Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one. It almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. 23 yards the pickup there.
That's going to be a good matchup for him. Using him out in the backfield and telling those linebackers, hey, you're not only going to have to try and run with him, but you're going to have to try and tackle him in the open field.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry. No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome. It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double move. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown. Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Huntley to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Second and goal from inside the 5. To throw, Huntley. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Center's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But it really...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he just throws this one away. That was a bit strange, and here comes the flag.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Here's Rodgers. He's got a man, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Jerome Baker crashing downhill and getting the stop.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Throwing is Rodgers.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Got a man. It's Tunyon.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw.
This one swung out here to Jones.
Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Jones again. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
The kick by Crosby is good.
So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties.
Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6.
Makes the score Packers 10, Dolphins 6.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Waddle will return this from the end zone.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. He's at the 40, the 20, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Miami.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. You're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone, and that's exactly why he did.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard.
A big play there just before halftime. 55 yards. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing now is Rodgers. And it's caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Aaron Jones, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Packers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now 17-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. And going deep for Hill. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out and try one for 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Ready, break! Stick the Eagles! Stick the Eagles! Kevin Pirates! Kevin Pirates!
The final shot before break. Huntley. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown off his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. That's taken in by Watson. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And this returnable for Hill. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Makes it third down and 12 yards to go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here's Huntley. This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
That's good for a Miami Dolphins.
Now a play fake here on first down. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hill.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Huntley's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Come on.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. Touchdown! Mike Gesicki with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Dolphins have retaken a third-quarter lead. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a third-quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Third quarter action here on Christmas Day. Hope everyone's having a blessed holiday season. 2nd and 10 right now. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
Now Hill to return it.
It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Back to the ground on first down, Edmonds. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He's able to find Melton. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And some room to maneuver. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. The first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now Rodgers.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 22. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. The 40. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
From the
mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick six.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tagged as one of the best in the league the prior season.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They felt they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
To Edmonds on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. Back to throw. Huntley. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they open the lead up now to 25. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that was playing at an elite level.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. On the out route, Dobbs brings it in. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate.
He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Packers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Crosby with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to 18.
Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down.
70 Rangers.
Again, they run with Edmonds. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on third and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on fourth down. Do you really have a play you believe in? Or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. One final try now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this